when I look at other products, like when I see how they use AI, it's usually like this, helper. You can ask questions to it. Maybe you can do minor things. But with this update, Notion AI agents are kind of like they are integrated with AI. It's so powerful, and we are going to show you some examples.
Hi, my name is Demetri Panici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents Podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Aytekin. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the AI Agents Podcast. In this episode, we're talking about Notion agents, Notion AI agents. I'm really excited. How are you doing, Aytekin?
Yeah, I'm doing great. And I was just like watching that video, and then I went to Notion and I tried it. It's so powerful. I was really impressed, and I was kind of also jealous. Like at Jotform, like we are also working on adding the power of AI into our product, but I don't think I have seen any other product really put this much thought into integrating or weaving AI into the product. I don't think I've seen it in any. There are like AI products like chatbots that are really they're just AI. Okay, they are really good. But when I look at other products, like when I see how they use AI, it's usually like this, helper. Like you can ask questions to it. Maybe you can do minor things, but with this update, Notion AI agents are kind of like they are integrated with AI. It's so powerful, and we are going to show you some examples.
No, absolutely. I think it's crazy to me how many different what we're working on right now at Jotform is amazing, and it's just really I think it's really edifying to see all of the amazing improvements that are coming out of the rest of the industry. And I think it's a good barometer for the industry is headed for AI agents in general, right? Like Notion AI agents are I think just the first step in a lot of steps for what necessarily the interest of the market is, and that's like integrated tools where you have the AI agent basically as a part of the ecosystem. And I'll show you this video real quick, and then we'll go through the article just to kind of give you guys an idea of what it is, and then we'll get into it.
Amazing video.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I think they did a great job on showcasing this, honestly.
Yeah, very fun. Uh, but what was really interesting was like that part. It actually said, "Okay, go and pull on my email and create a
Yeah, let
bug
me get
database
that.
for me." That's huge if you think about it. It's just you know you are not like copying and pasting stuff from your email to your bug database. It's actually creating from it. Yeah, like in that page it's showing compile customer feedback from Slack, Notion, and email into actionable insights. Yeah, definitely It's so powerful.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to me that this even got released. I really think that there's something special about this specifically when like you take a look at it and we'll show you how it works. Just like I am baffled that Notion, when they were a company that was arguably in a position uh, very much not focused on AI, it seemed like to me. Like they were using like ChatGPT 3.5 for their writing model, and like Notion AI was a glorified like ChatGPT integrated into the product. And then they come out of here and, you know, they're even talking about building custom GPT agents like inside of Notion, which is really cool. So, you know, it does so many different things. It has so many different integrations. It has the ability to do 20 minutes, I think it said. What was it, 20 minutes? Yeah, 20 minutes of autonomous work at a time across hundreds of pages at once. So this is really turning into a Manus type product, but in the Notion and outside of the Notion ecosystem, which, as they're saying here, Notion 1.0 introduced a collaborative canvas, Notion 2.0 brought databases, and now with Notion 3.0, they've basically made it an AI first company, which I think is a great step in the right direction. And you just don't, I wasn't ready for it. So I'm curious, you know, what are your thoughts on companies like this kind of taking, you know, a database work management tool and making AI first such a prominent part of what they're doing as a company?
I think they're thinking big. If you think about it, like we are all doing all this work, and while we are doing this work, what we do is like we use all these different tools, and like we spend so much time playing with the tools, like creating our tools, creating our databases, spreadsheets, tables, copying stuff from here to there. Like it's like sometimes like when you are doing work, like you forget what you are doing because like you're struggling with your tools and spending so much time with them. But here we see an example of how basically you just focus on the work and you just say, okay, do this for me, and it does it for you, and then you don't have to worry about it. I have an example to this. Let me share my screen. I was thinking about this, but as an example, I tried this, and I just opened Notion and I just said, okay, research top summer camps near San Francisco and create a database from them. My kids are 9 and 11 years old, so I'm thinking about the next summer, right? Finding a summer camp for my kids, and then it went ahead and this it also shows you the thought process, right? It said I need to start by researching summer camps using available web resources. So if you think about it, in the old days, I would go do a research, like copy and paste stuff, and then put them in a spreadsheet. Like I would spend so much time, and like just this would have taken me days to come up with something, or like maybe I will just take the easy route and just find some summer camp. But in this case, basically this like just it's this easy, right? And then I prompted it to like find the distance from San Francisco, and then basically put it in the spreadsheet and sort it by it, and then it created this column, and then basically now I have a list of different things, and I can say, okay, research more. Maybe some others do. So like maybe I ask it to basically add Google Maps. I actually zoomed in
I was
accidentally.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know how I did it. Fixing it now. Yeah, so basically, yeah, let me close this. And basically, it added Google Maps links to all these locations, so I can actually look at them on the map. Next action would be like, okay, I could go to their websites, or I could ask it to like, bring me pictures from these summer camps and then put them into a folder so that I can browse with the kids and like ask them what they think about it. So this is just like suddenly a multi-day project turns into this like 15-minute project,
Hmm.
and the document you showed, right, it actually says now your agent can do up to 20 minutes of autonomous work at a time across hundreds of pages at once. This means like this is kind of like Manus if you think about it. Like with Manus, you could actually ask it to do things and then you watch it to do them. Now Notion actually turned into like a Manus competitor. So now you have this world class product that can actually do all the things that you need to do, like databases, documents and everything. But it can also do all the things AI products can do. Why would you go to ChatGPT and try to do it over there and then copy paste the data to somewhere else while you when you can actually just do it inside Notion, right? I would actually just go to Notion and do it. And I wasn't a big Notion user. I used it time to time. I love their design. But with this, I can see myself using it all the time, as opposed to going and doing research on Manus or like Gemini or ChatGPT. I could just do it from Notion. Yeah,
Yeah,
much
no,
more
I,
easier.
I absolutely agree. I think it's what's really incredible to me is like I've been a Notion user for about 5 years now, right? I love Notion. It's great. It's amazing. But what's always been frustrating is that like they're always behind. They felt like at least, right? Not saying that. I mean, it seems like right now, not the case. They're usually behind the eight ball when it comes to this type of stuff, right? So what do I mean by that? So, um, I mean that they're behind the eight ball on, you have database stuff. I feel like they were behind the eight ball on, and the loading stuff there. And then it's just continued and continued and continued to get more and more frustrating as a user, and things would bug out. Like recently, there's been some instability issues. And you know what's funny though? Believe it or not, the reason that they end up having these type of instability issues, I think, is because they're working on something. Like they're secretly working on something big in the background. And I laugh at it, and it's true. Like it seems like consistently true. We had a amazing update that came, and now I haven't experienced in the last 7 days any of the weird. Their databases would essentially stop kind of working, so to speak. And what I mean by that, I mean like
Yeah. I
their
think they were probably
database.
just doing an upgrade to the new version and those kind of things.
Exactly. Like everyone on my team was like, I don't know what to do. Like I can't, like my basically databases would crash completely and not work.
Yeah,
And I was like, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Like this is just Notion being Notion. Yeah. It's really interesting to me that there's so many different ways a company can move forward. And even if you think what I find most fascinating about this is I don't know if anybody would have been able to predict this was going to be so well executed. Notion's biggest knock from me as the Notion power user or Notion guy for the last 5 years has been your integrations suck. You can go on my YouTube channel. I've probably made 100 videos about that topic. Just like, why can you not integrate with stuff well? And the fact that they've been able to do it on this level means that A, heard the feedback, and we just had to be patient.
definitely. If you think about it, integrating with emails is really hard. And then like being able to use your email like a database, it's so powerful. It's so powerful because everything you do is in your email. You get a confirmation about whatever you do, right? So if you give access to Notion to access your email, that means that you can actually query anything, any meeting you have, any conversation you have, any kind of like site you signed up for, right? All this information, all this communication with customers, they are sitting right there in your email. And now Notion is able to integrate with that. Notion agent is able to integrate with that, which is different, right? If just Notion was integrating with that, there was very limited amount of things that you could do. You could probably just search like your email or something. But now that you have this Notion agent that can actually work for 20 minutes at a time, right? It doesn't mean like it will just work 20 minutes, right? I'm pretty sure you can probably say, yeah, do something like this every day. Go and check my emails every day, and then like find most important things, and maybe like just send me a text message or something like that, right? There's just like so many things it could do. But being able to like have access to email and turn that data into database is so powerful. I think that it's going to be amazing for like especially for small businesses who are like constantly dealing with stuff. I think that's like so powerful.
No, absolutely. I think you're right on there, and it's pretty amazing to me that there's no, there's no tools out there right now from my perspective on the smart suite side. Like I'm thinking of the list of their competitors. Well, actually, we never did cover on it, and I guess it was more chat oriented than anything. But did you see that ClickUp released like their AI thing a little bit ago?
Nope, I haven't seen it.
No, okay. So ClickUp released something interesting, and I think this is a good segue into like everything that other competitors are trying to do. I'll share my screen real quick and show you. ClickUp Brain is what it's called.
I love the name.
Yeah, it's a really good name.
Shopify
Oh,
also has a sidekick. That's also a good name.
that is a good name, yeah. So what they're trying to do is make a connected tool, right, to their and you know what ClickUp is, right?
Yeah, I know it.
Okay. So meetings that take notes, smart slip recording, scheduling back and forth, smart agenda builder, answers without search. So if I go to, I'll share my screen. This is another tool and the only reason I'm bringing this up is like, ClickUp is the main competitor to Notion pretty much. So, this is like what they built. So this is a project management app making like a complete AI tool, right? With integrations to things like GPT-5 and whatnot. So it's very interesting to me that they've done this. And the goal is that you're going to add sources like this, right? Your Google Calendar, even Notion for some reason, which is funny. OneDrive, Slack, Teams. So what I find this fascinating is that Notion and ClickUp are in a position where they're asking questions, or answering the question, how are you going to integrate AI with your product well, right? So this is a thing that you can do. Say I was assigned tasks, I ask the question, find tasks that are assigned to me, right? Show tasks completed on my personal list. These are all questions that you have never been able to naturally ask, your workspace, so to speak. And connected work to me is so fascinating. Like if I say create a task for user research, which list would you like to create it to? Visualize the list name or URL. So I'd have to be a constant user, but there's even web search, there's deep research. There's a lot of stuff in here, and it's very similar to what Notion did, but not as on the same scale, right? I don't know. I didn't want to like segue it too much into what this can do, but point being, you get what I'm saying? Like there's like a trend here. There's a trend of companies saying, hey, AI is this big thing. We're not only going to make your average like chat add-on, we're going to make it so that it can access data and access databases.
And it can do things for you.
Yeah,
I think
it
that's
can
the
do things
important
for you.
part. Between an agent and like a regular helper, sidekick, whatever it's called, copilot. I think the difference is an agent is able to take action on your behalf and do things for you and like do the work for you, basically. And you can even say, okay, do this every day at 8 a.m. And by the time you're in front of your computer, someone actually worked hard and created a report for you, for example. Um, if you think about it, it's just like, it's like someone working for you, handling things for you. So I feel like this agent trend is really cool. And more tools should be added, like agent features to their products. And the point is, when you have an agent, basically whatever you do as a part of your job, now the products can actually do them for you. Like, oh, it's like, they're on autopilot. They're on autopilot, handling actions for you, and you are basically like this manager who is like telling your autopilots, your AI pilots, okay, I'm doing these things, do them for you, for me. And like this allows you to work on a much higher level, because all the manual things that you usually do is basically done for you, already done. And you can just like kind of like instead of like a single person, now you are like a 20-person team that can handle more things. And then this actually helps you become more creative, because like usually what happens is that like you get stuck doing things, and at some point like you don't have time to be creative, you don't have the energy for it. But if someone is like working behind, behind the computer, doing all those things for you, like you could just keep adding things and just keep building more and more, build your systems and improve those systems.
No, and this leads me to a question. You're a business owner, right? You haven't used Notion, really. It wasn't like something you were in. I don't know. What is the company like for your company? Do you have like an internal project management tool that you primarily default to as a company? Just out of curiosity.
Um, we are a team of teams. So at Jotform,
Oh,
like
okay. It changes per
we have
team.
all these small teams, and we give them like the flexibility to pick their own tools that they use. So we don't have like this company-wide tool that we use for project management. For me, I don't actually believe in project management. What I really believe in is like just focus on like really big important thing, and then just like be so much focused that I don't even need a project management, because I'm all the time thinking about that. Like whatever project I'm focused on right now, I don't actually do anything else pretty much. Like just morning and night, I'm always thinking about that. I don't need the project management. But we have all these like systems that track bugs and feature requests and all the feedbacks, things like that. So it's we still have the systems. Most of the systems actually built in house. Like we are not using any outside tool. Like everything, like our support system, our bug tracking system, pretty much everything is actually built by us. Like because whenever we try and tool that we don't actually like them, so we just built in house for some reason. And I think one of the reasons is like we are pretty old. Like as you can see from this, building forms since 2006, we are going to be like 2 decades old. And when we were building our systems, there weren't any good products, and we had to build our own like support system, bug tracking system, everything, project management, things like that. But for me, it's about like being focused on a single thing, so that I can really think about it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the reason I'm asking, right? Is like you say you were somebody who was like, hey,
Mhm.
I want to have a consistent product, right, for project management. Is this put you in a position as a as a business owner to be like, yeah, I want a consistent thing, and you start thinking to yourself, okay, well, what do I go towards? Is this like a big needle mover for you as a decision maker at a business? If you were to make that decision, like this is the tool we'd use, or no?
Okay, you mean like decisions to use which tools?
Yeah, like so, like
Right.
say you didn't have a team by team structure
Yeah.
with project management, right?
Hmm.
And you're like, some companies, like I worked at a big company, we used Asana, right?
Hmm.
Do you think as a business owner, features like this AI stuff would be a big reason why you'd pick a tool for your team to use over another one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's because it just makes your job much easier to be able to like the example with the summer camps. Simply type in what I need and build in the database. It's just huge. And basically, like if I was using a tool like ChatGPT or Manus, right, I would have created that research. But now with Notion, I feel like I can take it to the next level, right? With Notion, you can create a to-do list. With Notion, you can create documents. So basically, it's not like, it's not like ChatGPT history. Like you have to go back and find what you were doing. With Notion, this could be like this living document that you continually update and build, and like just maybe I prepare a list, I show it to the kids, like we look at the pictures, things like that, and we keep doing the research. So it's because these kind of tools are more like long term, like as you said, project management, basically project management. Like they're more useful, and like products like ChatGPT or like Manus, they are kind of like a one time. Like you go and use them once and you get results, and they are not really useful for project management. So now weaving it together, both project management and AI together, means that it's just so much more powerful, because like you're not just tracking your work and then doing your work. You're basically both tracking your work and the AI is doing your work. It's saves you so much time, and you don't have to copy and paste, do all the other things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I think that's a really good point. And from a hiring perspective, um, I gotta ask, right? Like, do you feel like, and once again, it's kind of a hard question because you don't believe in project management as much. Like, do you think that if there was an agency right out there where it's like, hey, we got this project manager that helps keep us organized across all these different projects and stuff, do you think that this could even remove positions like this, or make it so that there's like way less project managers because they get answers to questions so much quicker because the data is there for them to write out, hey, I want to get X
Definitely a
answer,
case.
or type in, I
AI
want to add
is
project.
There's definitely a case can be made that AI is actually removing bullshit jobs. Just like tracking something, right? Just if you're just tracking something, right?
Oh man, you do not like project management, clearly. That's
No,
funny.
no.
I've
I
never
mean,
heard you say that.
if you're only tracking something, you're not really contributing, right? So it's. I think
That was funny, man. I mean, yeah, I'm of the. No, that was great. I'm of the opinion, to be quite frank, that
this is also good for people. Like if you think about it, like with our support, right? All the bullshit, like easy questions, they are actually handled by AI now. But all the like now, our support team is actually like handling the cases. Like it's much more, their job is much more fun now, because like they are not answering the same "I forgot my password" uh, kind of similar support questions. Those can be handled by AI. Now they are taking better care of customers, because now they have more time to spend time with real problems, as opposed to BS. I don't want to make you
oh,
laugh more.
oh, that was funny. It was just came out of
So the
nowhere
same
because
thing is like,
you don't really
with
say
project
anything.
management,
Yeah.
if you're all you're doing is like just keeping track of how things are going, uh, I think it doesn't make sense. Like, it's just like you should be like it's also not good for you, right? It's not fun for you to just be a key person who is tracking what's happening. Like you want to be creative, you want to do contribute, right? And you know AI being able to do so much, like, makes you much more productive, um, much more powerful. And this means that people who had to do BS stuff, now they can actually like contribute more. And
And hey,
I'm
man, I
yeah.
actually kind of agree with you. I just thought it was funny because I hadn't heard you swear in like forever. But no, it's very true that there's a lot of jobs where it's just information transfer, right? And I love the experience I've had with project managers. Project managers are usually good, like people and whatnot, but there is one main issue that I've always had a problem with, and this is as a boss too. It's like, can't you guys organize yourselves? Like personally, I'm, I come from the background of making videos about Notion and Todoist and all these like organization tools, it's so that you know what your list is of things to do, right? And it's always very frustrating to me is I'm very anal about it, like making sure that I know what's going on, right? I have my list of things, I know what's going on. That's where a lot of the automation stuff came from, so that any nonsense I could get rid of it. And I think you're right. I think a lot of BS jobs are getting automated by this. And practically what I was getting at is like, let's say a company wants to have a project manager. Okay. What does a project manager do? Get on calls, write down tasks, record notes. Okay. Meeting note takers, got rid of that. We got note takers that have the ability to find action items. Boop. Right. That's another thing that they don't do anymore. Sending follow-up emails. Boop. That's can be automated in AI agentic now. And what I was getting at is now what we have, which is interesting, is we have ClickUp, we have Notion, and they have the ability to record calls. They have the ability to get the action items from those calls. They have the ability, even now, even further, be able to search their task database and add to their task database via typing. So if it's brain dead, right? In order to be able to be the leader on a project, be on a call and be like, hey, can you take these action items and put them in the database? And then if you don't have to ask a project manager what's the due date, because anybody on the team can ask the agent what's the due date. That was my point. So you actually kind of articulated it in your own funny way, but yeah.
I guess the question is like, are you really a project manager or are you like this project tracker? I think if you're
that is
just
a different thing.
Tracker, now AI can handle all those things. Like, and many project managers, they probably don't have time to be a manager. All their time is gone doing project tracking. So now with the help of AI, if you use these tools, now you can really be a project manager. You can really manage those projects. And I think everybody wants that. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I really appreciate you for being so candid and whatnot. It is funny, but I'm serious. Like it is a very important thing. So I mean, just kudos to the companies doing this. And I think what I find interesting too, and this is something that's definitely in the realm of like, wow, I wouldn't have expected this, is Notion, right, is in an interesting position as well, where they have been doing some sneaky things over the last few years, where everyone's been saying, why am I not seeing what I thought you did? Let me explain. Notion bought Cron, which was like actually a top of market indie calendar app 3 years ago. And then they immediately announced there's going to be a Google Calendar sync integration, and then it never was released. So everyone's been pissed about it. And then they bought a mail app last year, and everyone's like, okay, great. Like, what's going to happen? Like, they're going to buy it, they're going to reskin it, and it's going to do nothing. But what ended up happening is they've been playing the long game, where they've been doing that. Yes, they've been reskinning apps and turning it into Notion Calendar and Notion Mail. But now they have an ecosystem of tools with their endpoints and stuff, and with now MCPs, I'm sure, they can then turn it into a comprehensive, complete work tool, right? Where it's like, hey, we have this specific this specific feature we want to implement Google Calendar integration. That's a great idea. That's supercharged now because you can type into a chat. It's like, I have this thing to do, right? Can you check my calendar and see what's a reasonable time I could try to find a time to make this task work and put a due date for it? Or you can say, what did that person email me about XYZ thing? Kind of like we showed with MCPs last week. Kind of, it's almost its own little MCP ecosystem in a way. You can ask a question now to Notion Mail and to your Notion Calendar and to the other tools that are in there. And it just, since it's in your project management system, it's a lot easier to navigate through. And I guess a natural question then from this kind of comes where it's like, do you think practically that there's going to be a addition or subtraction? I don't know how to word it. Do you think there's going to be adjustments on what products are used and the way we said with the MCP episode? Because I almost felt like in that episode we were saying ChatGPT and Claude might be your go-to place to type into
Hmm.
because it's going to connect to all these different tools. But your Notions, your Claudes are trying to make it the other way around. Where do you think that'll kind of net out?
Um, I mean, it's interesting. I haven't really looked into like Notion Mail and Calendar into it. So one way they might be using it would be like, okay, this is the like clone of your data on Google Calendar or Gmail
It
into
is
your
that.
or any other service, so that you have all this data easily accessible, indexed, so that you can quickly access that data, search that data, use it, analyze it. It's like having another database. So I don't know if they use it that way, or they are just thinking about, okay, there are still probably so many people who don't use Gmail or Google Calendar, and we can provide this service to them. So I don't know which strategy they are following, but I felt like the first one is probably makes more sense for them, and I think it's a good idea because now they are able to, like, their agent, their AI agent, is able to like have access to all the data, like all the emails are there. It's probably being synced from your Gmail constantly, so that and the data is easily accessible in their database to be used. So this gives them so much more power to be able to do things, because like everything you do, it's in your emails. Everything you are planning to do, it's in your calendar. So if you have access to those two things, you have access to your business or your personal life. Basically, they have access to it all, and they can do things for you. The Notion agents could actually do things for you because they have that context. They have your emails, they have your calendar. They know what's happening, and the AI agent can use that context to make decisions. So I think it's very powerful. I don't know if that's the strategy. That could be the strategy. Uh, but yeah, I think it's very powerful, and like having the suite of all the products is also useful.
Sure.
Um, I mean, at Chatform, we also try to like add all these additional products so that when people need them, because it all started with forms, but we saw like people needed more and more. Like, we added like workflows, approvals, document generation, like right custom emails generation, for example. The Jotform sign and app builder. Like we added so many features because people who are using forms needed those. So yeah, I would say it's definitely powerful. I don't know what was your
Well,
question.
no, 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 that's
Forgot your
fair. No,
question.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think another natural question to probably ask, just from the perspective of somebody who is a person trying to build their own AI agent. Do you find inspirations through this type of stuff with your this
Absolutely.
what
I
do you
was
think?
very inspired by Notion's product, definitely, and we are also adding AI features at Jotform, and definitely I'm inspired, and I picked up some ideas that we could use at Jotform as well. Yeah.
Any you can share, or anything specifically that inspired you that maybe you can share? Like what part of it, Not saying that like, I want you to reveal the roadmap, but is there anything like you
I think
saw and you went,
this summer camp example was very inspirational because
yeah, why?
it's like basically the job here is to do a research and put it in a single spreadsheet and then make a decision, right? And
Mm,
usually to be able to do this, I have to spend like so much time, and with three kids, right, I don't have a lot of time. And now, like, if I'm comparing ski resorts or something like that, it just it these kind of tools actually make it so easy to be able to like um, do the research for you and keep track of things. And basically you are building the database. So one of the problems with ChatGPT or Manus is that it's just like one time, okay, do me this research, right? And then you get the research. If you want to edit it, right? But this is a living and breathing database. Now I created this database. Whenever I have additional questions, I can go back to Notion AI and say, okay, go and bring me list of all the activities available in these summer camps, right? And go and research the reviews and bring me some example reviews, right? I could just keep adding to this, and this is turning into a. And if I have like this to-do list, I can actually integrate with this database, right? And one of the examples on Notion AI's website was like this, okay, build me a CRM system, right?
Sure.
I do this job, build me a CRM system, and it was actually working like 15 minutes, like just creating tables, creating all the things you might use, and then connecting them to each other. So you basically, like, instead of going and like using a product like Salesforce or HubSpot, you could basically just use that system, and you basically build your own custom software. And if you say, okay, I work this way, change it this way, now Notion AI could actually edit that software to make it more custom to your specific requirements. So I feel like Manus or ChatGPT, they're like one time, like you get it, you do it. I mean, you can always iterate, but they're not like, you're not building software to use it, in the long term. But with Notion, it's like you're building your own custom software to be able to use it in the future. That's why it's so powerful. Yeah.
No, I think you're definitely right on with that. So, I think there's a lot of different use cases with this. We probably can talk about this forever, to be honest. But I think just a last note I'll have on this is probably there are a bunch of different tools out there that I think we'll start seeing have tremendous adjustments in their, I guess, what the word I'm looking for is, in their approach, so to speak. It's like they're going to stop trying to build integrations for tools, right? They're going to start trying to build this type of integrations for tools. So like if you see a tool out there where you think they are, I don't know what the word is, I guess. If you think that they're going to start making, your normal Google Calendar integration or whatever, they might be slower to do it because they're practically trying to do this whole thing where it's like I type into a box and I get all the answers to all the questions and I can move stuff around rather than just like, oh, I can like integrate the calendar. That's cool. Right. And that would be my note to anybody who's like, I like this tool. Maybe you want to jump to Notion. I think you should try this tool. I think it's great. But just as happened with Notion, who is a multi-billion-dollar valued company with like the largest base of users that are actively telling you what they want, they were slow to get it to be done. But that doesn't mean it's because they're not working on it. It might be they're like working on a big thing that'll come out and you never know. So that'd be my last note on that.
I mean,
Yeah.
as long as I don't think any competitors has this much capabilities. So slow is not the end of the world. I think now they are fast. Actually, if you think about it, much faster than the others, right?
Practically speaking,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Google
Yeah.
Sheets has Gemini, but I tried it a couple of times. It's just terrible. Like, I cannot do this with Google Sheets Gemini, right? It doesn't have these capabilities. So it's more like, okay, Gemini is powerful. Let's add Gemini to Google Sheets. But Notion AI has so much thought behind it. Like, they have been probably working on this for at least a year and just putting so much work into this. And they weren't just like, okay, let's just add AI here. They were actually thinking about how they use Notion and how we can integrate with that. And then like they don't have to build research, like we research into their AI. Like no other product actually does that other than like research oriented product. But as you can see, I can actually do a research as a part of like while I'm like working on a document on Notion or database on Notion. I think that's an important decision they made, and I think it's a winner decision.
I think you're definitely spot on there. I think it was the best decision they've arguably ever made. So, yeah, I guess with that being said, I appreciate everyone for listening to this episode. I just want to give a shout out to all of our listeners. We hit a new follower. Well, followers are always going up, but we hit a new daily consumption hours and play record again, weekly, daily, monthly. So you guys are just continuing to support and listen, and we got more interviews coming out for you. I'm getting a lot of requests now, so we're getting a lot of interviews, and I'm basically recording 24/7, but that's fine. Aytekin's fine. I'm just happy with it. So thank you guys for all the support. We had a great couple interviews that have been popping off recently, and I really appreciate the support there. So if you like this, make sure to leave a review. That helps us, number one, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
See you the next time. Bye bye.